Now they're going to speak to us on information systems implementation model with quality management approach. Is that right? Over to you.
From North Carolina State University. I am a PhD student and a graduate assistant there. This is a paper from my master's thesis, which I did in Istanbul Technical University under the supervision of Dr. Candan. Today I will talk about an information systems implementation model with a quality management approach.
Can you all hear? Okay.
Okay. First of all, I will give you a brief introduction about information systems and its relation between the quality management and information systems. And then I will tell you my model, the information systems implementation model in detail, and you can find the answers to the questions like what is this model and what are the parts of the model, and what we can do with the model. And then I will conclude the topic. It is running from the seat, that's why it takes time on this. Okay. Information systems. You know much about information systems. I will just give a brief introduction about information systems, what they're doing. On one side, they give a total connectivity of the organization with the outside world. And on the other hand, in the organization, they offer full control on the functions, on the production that has been going on. But on the other side, they give a big change in the organization itself, because a different system from outside will come to your organization, and you should have customized it according to your organization. If you haven't done it, it will be a really difficult, it will be a really big problem for you. So to do something with this big change, you have to have an effective implementation approach. What we're trying to do is, we're trying to create an effective implementation approach using information systems, using quality management. And why we are using quality management? Where does this quality management fit? Actually, there is really a strong relationship between the information systems and the quality management. First of all, information systems, quality management requires a better quality of information to be done. There is a look from information systems to quality management. On the other side, on the quality management side, when you use quality management in the implementation of information systems, you can reduce the risk of failure. So there is a loop from information systems to quality management and from quality management to information systems. That's why we use the quality management approach. Okay, now here is my model. The first thing that I should say is this model depends on the Baldrige National Quality Award. This award has been developed by the U.S. Congress in 1987 to improve the competitiveness of the U.S. companies in the world. After that, many organizations and also many companies and education organizations adopt this model and implement it for quality, to improve their quality. What we did is we analyzed this quality management approach and we developed this model based on the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. And if you want to learn more about this award, the website is in the paper, you can check with it. Okay, now there are two sections in this model. One of them is the environment, and the other is the system in the environment. The environment is the business climate, actually, and it has two factors, the leadership and business results. And the system inside the environment has three stages, which has different colors. The first stage is the pre-implementation stage, the second stage is the implementation stage, and the third stage is the post-implementation stage. And after implementing the model, there will be some business results, and you should have feed the business results to the leadership. I will discuss the boxes in detail now. Okay, let's start with the environment. Leadership is the first issue in the environment. There should be a support at every level for the implementation of information systems. First of all, the top management should support the implementation of information systems because we know that still for the textile companies, there is a really horizontal, a vertical hierarchy, and of course it's different for developed countries, it's changing to some vertical hierarchy, but it's still important that if the top management wouldn't support the information systems, then it will affect the rest of the implementation period, and the people in the organization also couldn't find the motivation to implement the information systems. So the top management support is crucial. And the second one is not only the top management support, but the middle management support is also important because middle managers are the ones who are doing the most of the tasks. The problem in textiles, maybe in all sectors, I'm not sure about that, but most of the middle managers have a technical background. They are engineers or with some other technical background. The problem with that is they always do the daily tasks. They have always a priority on the daily tasks rather than doing the tasks of information systems. That's why they should support the information systems implementation, and they should make their employees do the information systems implementation tasks besides the data tasks that they're doing. So as a result, for a successful implementation of information systems, a full comment at every level is crucial. The second issue in the environment is the business results. There can be efficiency, lead times, customer satisfaction, etc. But the business results has to be evaluated very effectively. And leaders has to evaluate these business results. That's why there is a arrow from business results to leadership and leadership to business results. Because if the business results is really bad, then if the leaders can see that the results are bad and can act according to that, then throughout the process, at the end of the process, there will be a good business result. And if it is not, on the contrary, if they do not do anything to leadership, then it's obvious that the business results will be really bad at the end. Okay, now let's turn to the system. As I said before, there are three stages in the system, and pre-implementation is the first stage, and strategic planning is the first factor, first issue in the pre-implementation stage. I know you heard about them a lot, at least like industry, their conference, like most of the speakers talk about strategic planning. I won't go into details, but the important thing is business strategies should be expressed even if it's not stated explicitly. The reason is you're going to select your information system according to your business strategies. Because let's say if you're pursuing a quick response strategy and your information system that you selected don't support your quick response strategy, then what will happen? The information system will fail at the end, it's obvious. And when you do a business, when you express your business strategies, and when you define your strengths, weaknesses, and when you search for the environment, then you can know your organization, how your organization functions, and you can know which information you need, and you can know that in what type you need that information. So you can customize the information systems according to your organization. Otherwise, information systems have their own way of doing business, and if you don't customize the information systems, then your way of doing business can be damaged. The second issue in the pre-implementation stage is the focus on customer and market. There are two types of customers in the organization. One of them is internal customers, the other is the external customers. The internal customers are the users of information systems, and the external customers are the stakeholders of the organization other than employees. They are suppliers, the real customers, and government agencies, etc. So what you have to do is, you have to customize the system for full customer satisfaction. And you can offer competitive offerings using information systems, like you can customize your system and you can offer more things to your customers using information systems. So you can think about it also when you're exploring your customer and market implementation stage. Then comes the implementation stage. Team development is the first issue in the implementation stage. First, there is a lead project team. This project team is the team which has worked in the pre-implementation stage, which has done the preliminary research and everything. Then, in the implementation stage, this team comes and becomes lead project team. And according to the type of the scale of the project, you will need functional teams, which means, for example, you will need a team with managers from every function, from production, from marketing, and you will form a team for the function. In the marketing, you will form a team, and in the production, you will form another team. And if the project is really big, then you will need a communication between these teams. So you should have also a cross-functional team at least, for example, including the managers of the departments, the separate departments, marketing, production, and all that. And to accomplish the tasks, you will need a task team at the end. The second issue in implementation is the project management. It's really an important issue because by managing the project, by really well managing the project, you can detect the issues and you can build the project better. At the simplest level, the goals of the project, the obstacles for the project, and the resources and techniques available to overcome these obstacles should be managed effectively. First of all, you should determine the appropriate strategy according to your business strategy that you have chosen. For example, here are some examples of different strategies. For example, off-the-shelf approach. This gives an emphasis on cost and time, the saving the cost and the time. Or another approach is the joint development approach. This gives the priority over time. And the other approach is the building block approach. This also gives the priority over cost and time. The difference between the off-the-shelf approach and the building block approaches. Off-the-shelf approach wants to minimize the cost and minimize the time. But in the building block approach, there is a priority. You should consider the time and the cost, and then do the plan according to them. Okay, after the determination of the appropriate strategy, you should do your project planning. You should plan what you're going to do, and you should define your strengths. This could be like team expertise, or the capitalization of the project, or the cohesiveness of the teams. And you should define your strengths, and you should plan the tasks that you're going to do according to your strengths. Then you should track and control the project at every level. This is really important. For example, at the beginning I talked about the customization. If you're not going to control or track, for example, the customization of the system, then at the end, the users of the system, the customers of the system can not be satisfied with the system, and at the end the failure will be definite if you're not track and control your project. And of course, at every level, there is a risk in implementing all of these stages. To hedge the risk, you should do risk management. What you can do is you can apply a house of risk, like the house of quality. You can determine, for example, top 10 risks that you're seeing in the future, and you can then try to find the solutions according for these risks. Then you can do some contingency plans to hedge the risk. And it's really important at every level of the implementation. Then the last stage is the post-implementation. Human resource management is the first issue in the post-implementation. Since the humans, the employees are using the system, it's really important to satisfy them. They are the living parts of the organization, so they will create the difference. They will determine the failure or the successfulness of the implementation. So the leaders have to support and explain the system to the employees really well. And the efficient HR management has to make the network available among the employees so that they can share their knowledge, and they can be more responsive, and they can be more adaptive to the system. And of course, the learning process also is really important, organizational learning and the personal learning. After the learning, they can be more comfortable with the system, and then the success of the system or the quality of the system will be determined. The last issue is the performance measurement. You have to measure your performance so that you can take required actions to improve your performance. The measurement should support, of course, the system's vision, the system's goals, objectives. You can do, the most common way is doing surveys in the performance measurement, and there are some types of surveys that you can do. For example, these are only the examples, but like you can do an end-user survey or an employee opinion survey, and you can take the feedback from the employees. I mean, if they are using the system really comfortably, or if there is any difficulty in using the information systems. So you can collect the data from the apply these kinds of surveys and you can collect data from them and you can try to increase the performance of your implementation system. Okay, as a result, I've explained the information systems implementation model to you. What was different in our model is you should probably know each box separately. But what we have done is we have combined all of them and put them in an environment so that you can have a comprehensive analysis. And with this analysis, you can manage the implementation of information systems very well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Would you like to get some questions? Any questions to the speaker, please? I think a very interesting paper, very interesting indeed. All very modern thinking and futuristic practices you're recommending that all businesses should have. Very good. It seems you have explained it very, very clearly. Left no doubts in their minds.
If you can mention only the site address of the system.
I can answer It's not here, but if you can check my paper in the CD, which is in your bag, it will be there in my bag.
Yes. No, yeah. Mike.
I think there must be a monitoring process in the sequence. Monitoring. If you implement, you have to monitor.
Yes, actually, I was thinking in the project tracking and control. But you're saying that I should put a monitoring system to take the data from them. Yes, it's a good.
And then development also is later on.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sequence is plan, implement, monitor, develop. To close the cycle.
The thing is, the performance measurement at the end, actually it is to take the data. It's not like monitoring, of course, but it is for capturing the data from the employees for the implementation of the system. And then the business results, the leadership that I'm talking about, the leadership should evaluate the business results and change the course of implementation. Develop maybe the
This is post implementation?
Yes, after that. Because actually the model itself is a development of the information system. I mean, the pre-implementation is the first stage and implementation is the second stage. The thing that I'm concerning is it's not like it's only the guide for you to improve the quality of the information system implementation. Of course, you will develop any information system. You will implement it. My model suggests only a guideline that will improve the quality of the information system. That's why I didn't put a development. I mean, I don't know if I understand you correctly.
Well, the normal procedure is you plan and then implement,
yes.
as you said.
Yes.
But you have to monitor the implementation process and then go to development, which is post-implementation.
Yes, in my model it is, I'm doing it, I'm implementing it in the implementation stage, and then I am taking the data at the end in the post-implementation stage with performance measurements. And then, as a development, I am evaluating the business results, actually.
Okay.
But maybe...
As I understand that what you are saying it should be monitored is absolutely right. What you're saying is to tracking, isn't it? Tracking
yes,
or
right.
monitored. And then you are saying to control at each stage. And as a result of your finding, you further develop your program.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. You've got to develop it after you monitor it.
You have to.
Yeah, you can't stop there. That's right. Yes, please. Would you just mention your...
Hello, very interesting paper. My name is Jeff Silverman from Fashion Institute of Technology. Can you comment a little bit on how your process impacts the bottom line? Have you done any work in that area as far as public companies versus private companies? Thank you.
I know. I just developed a model, and I didn't do any work on that, and I didn't implement the model in the companies. The next step that I was thinking about for this model is in the model Baldrige. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's like a self-assessment tool, and there are some questions on each topic. Maybe as a next step, what I was thinking is developing a self-assessment tool like Malcolm Baldrige for this information systems implementation, and take the self-assessment tool and go to the companies and do the work with them. That was the next step that I was thinking. But for the master's thesis, I just concentrate on developing the model.
I think what Professor Silverman said is absolutely vital for your own study.
Yes.
Having produced a theoretical model, then implement this on the shop floor. If you can get an opportunity in any manufacturing unit to implement this, I think it will benefit you immensely.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes, please.
Happen to that microphone. Hi, very interesting, yes. My name is Michael Buttery, I'm from Werner International, and the type of model you are discussing is something that we apply, or the basis of it we apply in a number of our clients. There are a couple of questions about the model that I thought of as you were talking. First of all, you talk about using both functional and cross-functional teams,
Yes.
depending upon the size of the organization.
Not the organization, but the project, actually.
Okay, on the size of the project. Why would you use only a functional team, given that we want to expand the level of communication throughout the organization?
Functional team, functional team is a team inside the function itself. Like with the managers, couple of managers maybe inside the production. For example, if you have weaving, spinning, finishing, production, then the functional team should include the managers and maybe some people who have expertise from the shop floor. But the cross-functional team will create or will improve the communication between functions. That was what I was supporting. But you're saying that instead of having the cross-functional team, only do the functional team? Or?
No, actually I'm saying basically the opposite of that. I think the size of the project should not matter. If I have a functional team, then I keep the communication within that function.
Yes, but
What I need is a cross-functional team where a production manager can talk to a marketing manager or can talk to a financial manager so they can gather the correct information. So what I would want in a production environment is a cross-functional team where the majority of the people are production people, but always with access either within the team or through very good communications outside the team with those support functions. So I would find it difficult to apply this model using only a functional team. And if I understand what you were saying correctly, if the project is relatively small, you would recommend the use of only functional teams.
no, actually, I would omit the functional team, as you said, because, like, for example, if it's an ERP project, then every step is essential. But if it's a really small project, then you should have only the cross-functional team, not the functional team.
So within a larger project, you would find room for a functional team.
Yes.
How will you then guarantee the level of communication?
There will be a cross-functional team and a functional team as well. Not like, and the cross-functional team will provide the communication between the functions and between the top management, of course, between the lead project.
As you understand, in this situation, communication is absolutely critical to making any project of this nature work. The second question revolved around the human resources function and where you had that within the model. As I understand from the model, this was part of the post-implementation phase, where then you start to talk to your own people, the shop floor operators, about how they may use or gain benefit from this system. It's my experience that if you do it at this stage in the process, that you A, lose a lot of opportunity, and B, you can create a certain level of resistance from those people. The system has already changed, and now you're trying to communicate to them what they should do with this system. The operators should really be involved in that cross-functional team or functional team in the implementation phase. Those are the people who are actually going to use the system, input information into the system. Is that the way you would see it also?
Actually, I put it in my paper, but I didn't put it in the presentation because, like, the block in the post-implementation, it was after the implementation to educate the people. But you're right, there should be also an encouragement, a motivation, and also a learning period in the implementation. I just mentioned it a sentence in my paper, but I didn't put it and I didn't mention it. Yes, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Uncu. Please take your seat. I'm very pleased to announce that we have resurrected another presentation. So, thanks very much. Thank you. It's very interesting.